Now we're entering into the Empire era. Some special things happen. For example, this is available during this period, and only during this period. These are not, they're misprint. I think that's it. Okay. So I'm going to take a little look at how we started the things. First of all, in the deck phase, the Empire cards have been shuffled in with the remaining, and there's like 3 or so cards left. Remember, you can buy an event card, so it's not even guaranteed that there will be any left. I generally don't do that. It's hard to remember. It's on here, which is really where you look to see what you can do. But it just doesn't hit in my mind. The political actions are so valuable, and spending 3 is a big political action. So it's hard to justify drawing something which may or may not fit the ministry cards you have. Maybe on the first turn of an era, it's worth doing if you had a really horrible event draw to begin with and you're looking for something specific. Each player got 4 additional debt to their limit. New awards have been stacked, and I haven't flipped them over, so let's take a quick look at what we got here. North America, not worth very much. Caribbean, not worth a whole hell of a lot. Not worth a lot. And the valuable one is in Europe again. The global demand, again shaken, and a new set comes up. This time India is becoming more valuable. And the Indian resources are both up there. Furs keeps maintaining it. This is one of the weird things in the game, because a lot of your setup for the late game or whatever is what areas have you set up your markets in. Markets, you know, out here you can pretty much predict what's going on, I think. But in terms of the markets, they're what you're carrying over to a large extent between turns in terms of victory points, along with how much do you collect, do you hold in any particular region. Both these things are highly variable. Your decisions could be randomly bad decisions. So like my decision last turn to go into a particular continent, you know, which could be a toss-up between 2 continents. Well, this turn, that decision could turn out to have been really horrible. The points could be really good in one area and really lousy in another. And yes, you kind of know the points that are available, but you can't necessarily judge it. Likewise, with the markets themselves, the resources that they provide, that also is this random event that just comes up. So, you know, if you invested heavily in furs because it was a good thing on one turn, if it just keeps being a good thing, you're getting this bonus throughout the game. And there's nothing you can do about this directly. The only thing you can do is try to keep yourself even or close in all the markets. You know, not let yourself be shut out of something so you can't compete in it. But, and the same goes with the continents. You don't want to focus too heavily on one continent. Now, that focusing too heavily has been working pretty well in Europe. But Europe has a special bonus. It has that prestige bonus, which allows you to increase. And it always has wars until the last turn of the game. The last war. Removed the exhaustion markers. And at this point, these actually are gone. You'll be picking new ones. Now these guys are S's, so they're actually getting removed from play. They're not going to be available again. But this one is both. And as an example, well, we're going to add new cards from the Empire period, some of which are in both periods that are remaining. So that's something that's in play here. And these guys just go away unless I need them as a reference. The same thing happens with the French. So I've got a different deck or a different hand of ministers to choose from. And again, I choose in the first turn my 2 ministry cards. If I don't use it in the first turn, I get another chance to replace it in the second. Generally, though, it's not worth passing. It cost me a victory point. I don't know if I really gained much by being able... Yeah, this was pretty damn valuable, to tell you the truth. Okay. So it may have been worthwhile, but maybe I should have... I don't know. Nothing. I could always buy an event for 3. Here's the thing that I'm a little iffy about. And I didn't really look too hard in the errata to see if this is handled. But in the deal cards, you reveal 9 new investment tiles from the investment tile stack and place them in the available investment tiles display. That would be here. I don't have 9. So what happens? Well, this is where I had an issue, and maybe I'm wrong. If there are insufficient investment tiles, make available all remaining tiles and then shuffle all the used investment tiles into a new stack and continue revealing. That sounds like I set these up before I shuffle the remaining ones. I'm not sure that's the case, and it probably doesn't matter which you choose, you know, as long as you're consistent. I could see hey, certain tiles didn't come up in this deck draw. No matter what, these tiles aren't getting reshuffled, so they have less of a chance of getting recycled in. But it could be even lessened. These are guaranteed to come up, and if you track the tiles, you could know what 6 of the 9 tiles are gonna be, which could be a useful piece of information if you were really capable of tracking that kind of stuff. Anything else I want to look at? Let's look at the actual, yeah, we looked at the VP markers. We looked at everything. All right, I'm going to throw these guys in a bag, shuffle them up and stack them and deal the last ones. Then from this now mixed deck, it has, you know, like 3 or 4 succession cards in it. Everybody's going to get 3 new ones. Now, the French are holding a card from the old deck. That's fine. And, you know, they'll have to discard 1 card. It might be that old one, but I remember wanting that one. This turn, since the English are losing the game, they get the initiative. And let me look. If they're at 15, it remains as it was. It doesn't flip. Okay. So what this means is I'm going to make my choices for ministry cards for the English first, and then the French are going, because the English have to choose who's going to get the initiative. They're going to make that choice. And this is really a solo play thing, is that I kind of jump things out of the way for the ease of my own mind and remembering what's going on. And then I forget that the French know that, that initiative thing, and choose their own choice of cards. They're going to get to discard an event as well as picking their ministry cards. And then whoever the English choose to go first chose to go first will go first at that point. Under the regular play, the English are technically, you know, are theoretically making that choice in their head at this point, which is why I'm doing it here. And it's easier for me to make that choice while I don't know what the French cards are, right? That way I don't have any kind of unfair, you know, edge on them when making that choice. I feel like trying to forget whether the French are going to be forced to go first or not is an easier thing for me to do than trying to forget what their possible capabilities are, which contain in a subconscious sort of way that's different. This would be I'm conscious enough that I can forget, you know what I mean? At the beginning of the last era, this is the biggest thinking of all. The beginning of a peace turn is always big. The beginning of the first peace turn in an era is huge. So I probably am going to be looking for the keyword and trying to use that. You don't have to do that, but I feel like getting the bonuses is important. So first of all, how many events do we have? We have a bunch of economic events available, and diplomatic, 2 diplomatic. Military, if I want to do a military event, I have to choose to go first. I don't have any events that are affected by anything though, so that's cool. So this one is not nationally switched. You have a choice between two things, which is 2 conflict markers, or take control of a local alliance space in India. That's kind of cool. That's worth, 2 diplomacy points. And in fact, I could take control of a French-controlled alliance space, swinging it completely. That makes this a nice card. In addition, if I have mercantilism, I get an extra 2 economic in India. So this is very attractive. There's a lot of events out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am guaranteed 2 events, or 3 events if I want them. So what is my mercantilism bonus? Well, it's the East India Company. I get an extra victory point for each of these. These are hard. Textiles, silk, fruit, fur trade, and rum. Textiles and silk are both over. Oh, silk doesn't exist. Right? Oh no, this is the advantages. So what are these? They are not worded correctly here. Here's silk, and here's textiles. Textiles is in the French hands for some reason. What the hell's going on there? We didn't get rid of something we should have. Interesting. Do the English have that for some reason? Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I used this without remembering to remove it. This would be the second time that I've had something. It's hard to notice. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So, yeah, I don't have the textiles yet. Silk. I don't know where silk is. Silk is up here. Fruit. Where the fuck is fruit? Sounds like it's probably in a sugar market somewhere. I don't know. There's rum. That's one of them. Okay, I wonder where fruit is. Well, let's look at this other thing and see if it has fruit in it anywhere. It had better. Caribbean has fruit. 1 EP to unflag a market in the Caribbean. Do we have that? Is that this? No. No. Oh, maybe it's up here? No, I looked at this. Oh. This is rum. Well, I don't know where fruit is. Am I missing? Here we go. Here we go. Okay, to get that, I gotta win a war and take this from Spain. That's not gonna be easy. I don't know about this card. So the bonus for this, wait, which one? Oh no, that's the East India Company. So get a victory point for each unexhausted advantage you control. Textiles, silk, fruit, fur trade, and rum. Okay, we found there's 2 here, 2 here. Fur trade, I think the French have, but I don't know. I see fur market. Fur trade is up here in Hudson Bay. That's going to be hard to get. So right now I don't think I have any of these, which kind of sucks because I would like this bonus, but maybe I don't take the bonus card for this just because that's going to be tough to get. Tropical diseases goes with scholarship. Scholarship is nice. It gives a bonus of 1 victory point to winning Europe to you and takes 1 away from the French if they win Europe. to a minimum of 0. But, you know, I could make Europe very unvaluable for the French to go for, making it a 1 for a 2-point swing. Or I could increase its value myself. That's kind of appealing. The tropical diseases allows me to remove a flag and then a friendly flag from the Caribbean. But if I have scholarship, I get to hit the enemy once more. And I get to control where these flags come from. So that's kind of a big deal. And it's just flag. Oh, it's from markets. Okay. That's not as exciting. Okay. So that's kind of interesting, mainly because this is a powerful card in and of itself. I might want to use this for the bonuses. How interesting are the resources here? The resources in the Caribbean are uninteresting this period. They could be interesting next time, but do I want to hold the card for that? I don't know. Okay. But if I use the bonus, it becomes interesting. Austro-Spanish rivalry. Put a conflict in Spain. Remove a French bonus war tile from the next war if I have governance. Well, what does governance give me? Governance gives me Pitt the Elder. Now, there are cards that have two keywords on them, and those are really awesome. Once per turn when taking a diplomatic, you get an extra that you can spend on shifting non-prestige political spaces. And once per turn, you can pay only 2 military to construct a new squadron. I'm having trouble using the squadrons I have, but that's a good deal, having another ship on the board for cheap. I think this, I like this, but you kind of have to aim for it, and if it's not right in front of you, it's hard to remember to do so. I think I am less interested in that. So I'm going to put these two up. And of course, keep all of these. Now, where do I want to go in the order? I'm going to go second. So I'm going to give the French the first move. But they don't know that yet. Okay. Time for me to pause a little bit so that I can take a breath. Okay, so my choice is here. First of all, I have the thing I held on to and set myself up for. I have more available debt than the English, I believe. They have 5. I have 7. I would really like this. The danger? There's only one military event out there. Let's look at some of these others. Here's another debt-based one. For each debt my opponent has in excess of mine, I get a victory point. Well, I definitely want this. And that comes with no keywords, so no problem. It's an economic event, so we got to get up and walk over and look. There are a couple of economic events. So I can guarantee this will work, even though I don't have the initiative. Okay. Bing's Trial. Bing's Trial says a bonus on mercantilism, but it's not real. I could remove a British squadron from the map or the Navy box and put it on the turn track for the next turn. I mean, they're not using their navies as it is. Yeah, it could be useful. What does the mercantilism card do for me? The awards for India, cotton, and spice are worth an extra treaty point for me. It's nice, but maybe not that big a deal. The Pacte de Famille. Bourbon family ties refresh up to 2 advantages in Europe. Okay, do I have European advantages? I have the debt reduction. I have the alliance. Yeah. So this is very appealing to me. Let's see what style does. Style is important for more than just this. It affects the military for the Jacobite rebellion. That's important. Do any of the others use keywords? I don't think so this time. Last time governance was important with Spain. But I am very attracted to this. And the bonus, by having the style, gives me some additional diplomacy in Spain or Austria. So I'm going with these, and I'm definitely going to go for this because I think that's useful. So that leaves me with one more. Now, This is always kicking around. Once per turn, I can use military to shift spaces in Scotland or Ireland. Those are currently in the English hands. On a different action round, I can spend military to score a victory point for each French flagged space and the Jacobite victory marker. I don't know. Here's the thing. I am kind of aiming for the Jacobites, and being able to do something is valuable. Let's look again at these. What are my other options? This one is useful in reserve. Once per turn when taking a military action, you get an extra military that you can spend on a bonus war tiles or deploying squadrons. Once per turn, if you have a squadron in North America, you can pay less. Okay, so his nice thing is he has 2 keywords on him. That's appealing. At the end of this turn, if I can win the Jacobite rebellion with a French victory, I get the the bonus of the Jacobite victory marker, and that means during ministry phase, I can select the Jacobite uprisings in addition. Interesting. So if I focus on the Jacobites but don't use this extra military bonus, well, that military bonus can get me bonus tiles in the Jacobite rebellion. So I am more tempted towards a different card. What different card? This isn't real. Okay, I am discarding this. This event is not going to get played. I'm not interested in playing with his navies. Which means I've got the military cost overruns, another debt-based one. So now it's just really a question between these cards. If I can win the Jacobite Uprising without using my military points to convert British spaces in Scotland and Ireland, that's peachy. However, I think I actually do want to take this. See, here's the thing. If I win this, and yeah, I know I'm babbling. I'm taking a lot of time. This is in addition to the usual 2 ministry cards for the rest of the game. That's great for later, but for this period, I'm stuck with this as one of my base picks, even if I win the war. That's the negative to it. So let's see if there's anything I really love. Extra treaty points. Hey, that's nice. Am I going to be fighting here? Yes, I am. This one is nice because it gives me 2 different keywords, neither of which I need right now. But they can both be appealing. This one, you know, it's a bunch of TRPs that I can get for these prestige spaces. So if I control a prestige space in a multi country, and that includes these guys, etc. I think I am going to pick the Jacobite Uprising card. Let's see how many military points there are. There aren't all that many. But they're minors. Yeah, let's try to win the Jacobite War. Let's do that. Now, for some reason, and I don't know the reason for this, there are 2 Jacobite victory markers. You can win it twice. The Jacobite defeat can only happen once. The Jacobite victory, I'm not sure why it says twice, because here it says for the rest of the game. Dunno. Maybe it impacts later Jacobite wars, but I don't think so. Okay. So So I picked my 2 cards. I have my events, and now I get to choose because the English say, "You go first, France." Great. Okay. There is a military event. This is the one I want to play first, even though this one may be more valuable. It's not. Okay. So I want military with an event. That'll be this one. And each action round. Oh, I am totally going to want to do this. Maybe this one too. I may reveal both my cards right at the beginning. Okay. I have more available debt than my opponent, so I get the bonus. My opponent must damage a fort, remove a squadron, or remove a bonus war tile from the next war. Is this a waste? Do I not have a French, an English, anything on the board? No, I have a squadron. Okay, so I have a squadron here. They have not bought a fort. Wow, the poor English. Okay, so this comes off. They have no bonus war tiles, obviously. Oh, no, wait, what? How'd this show up here? What the hell? Last turn. They are going to choose to move their squadron. It's not important in this war anyway, although it is a prestige space, so that kind of sucks. Then they have to do it again. Oh, well, that's the harsh part. Now I do have to lose that other one, which I don't remember what it was. Bonus war tile. Okay, so I don't draw that same one. It's actually returned to the pool, so I probably have to shuffle the whole deck. We'll do that. Okay. Now I have the option to look for a tile that I want to try to pull out. That's a fort or a fleet. That's just become a lot less valuable. So I will grab a new one for that and see what we get. Oh yeah. And I think I'll trash this too. I'm allowed to keep trashing. I think I have to. I think the limit is I must always have at least 4, which is it's not going to happen. You don't remove that many. Okay, so that was the removal. I did the event. Now I have 2 military and 2 of this, but do I have advantages in Europe that I can spend? I can reduce my debt by 2. Yes, we want to do that almost always, and that has just triggered this, so I gain a treaty point. Talk about a big buy. I don't want to do another one in Europe, but I probably want to do another one somewhere else. The Jacobite Uprising. Once per turn, you can use this on a different action round. Okay. I am going to use this to shift a space using military. I have 2 military. This is gone. I have 2 military, so I can shift. I have tons of treaty points. Okay, military is my main in here. So, 1. 2, 3. This doesn't seem valuable. I have 2 more treaty points. I'll take this away. I've just used this. Let's mark that to indicate it's completely done. And now I want to look at some of these because Carnatic Coast I'm not interested in. The Indian market. No, that's not what it's called. It's called Raids and Incursions. I think it's any Indian market is the point. Alliance in Europe, I want to hold off on that because that's one of these. I want to hold off on that because that's one of these. Fur market or an Indian market. The Brits don't have any Indian markets, so I'm not going to screw with them there. They do have a fur market, so we're going to conflict here. This, sorry for jumping. I know that makes it, you know, for those of you who are not seasick already, that makes it worse. And now we go over to the English. And as always, the first couple card plays in a period are the hardest of all. You know, I mean, first there's that big decision on the ministry cards and everything, and then how to actually use them. Once you make that optimization over you know, what cards you're going to take, then there's the optimization of which card you play when to do what. Which tile is the most important to play. The way I'm doing these is not how the rules say. I think they suggest doing something like this. I like to move them out. Again, it tells me a better story. At least in my mind. All right, on to the English, but I think I need to reload a pipe and such not. Very first time I played this, and this is only the second, right? It took me over an hour to make the first card play. I'm talking about between choosing the ministry cards, the events, etc. for both players, and then playing one card. A lot of that was reading the rules, thinking about the game, etc. This video shows I've gotten that down to about a half hour to make the first card play of a turn. I think I actually had an easier time with the first turn. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into what you're doing. So, what about the English? Well, now I gotta switch context and remember what I got. This I sure don't want to play unless I'm playing this. In this, once per turn when taking a diplomatic, you receive an extra. Okay. Let's see what we might want to do. Place 2 conflict markers in unpredicted spaces in India. This is a really good card. I wish I could have gone with the bonus, but I just couldn't afford it. Remove an enemy flag, a friendly flag, and then remove an additional enemy flag from the Caribbean. There's nothing in the Caribbean, so this is actually a pretty weak card. I want to hold off on that unless scholarship was the one I wanted to hold off on. The governance one, place a conflict in Spain, remove a French bonus war tile from the next war. Well, there are none, so I'm not going to play this. I think I can hold off on this. So this is what I'm going to aim for. I do want to play an event. Or do I want to hold? Take control of a land alliance in India. Well, which one do I want? We have Power Struggle and Raids and Incursions. Raids and Incursions. This must be Power Struggle. Power Struggle looks less valuable. So I am going to grab, what do I want to do? That's a good question. What's the most appealing card? Well, that doesn't come with an event. That ain't so hot. Oh, this one comes with 5. These guys come with a conversion. I don't know that I absolutely need the conversion. So I'm going to take a 5-pointer. I'm going to play this. Take control of a land alliance space. I take this one. That gets me the raids and incursions, which is this one. I can't use it right away. North America. What is this? Because one of them is incorrectly written. Pay 1 less EP to unflag. I could start working on those furs and try to take them away. Furs are worth 2 victory points now and a treaty point. This is as good as last time. Spice is worth 2 victory points and -1 debt. And cotton is worth 2 victory points and a treaty point. They're all good. So if I want to use this, I need to use it pretty soon. I'm going to use the Caribbean one first, because that just creates a conflict in an unprotected market. There's nothing of importance right now. I can't grab this easily. I'm not as interested in tobacco because it comes with debt and it's decreasing in value. I'm going to put this... see, here's the thing. I don't get to take advantage of this. So it's the same... It doesn't really help me to put it there. So I'm going to put it at the one that's close to me, even though it's a less valuable space that I could unflag more easily, more cheaply. Unless I get Santo Domingo, I don't get this. This is just protected. Okay. But I should not be doing that yet. First, I should be doing... I did this. Okay. Good enough. There's the event. Gone. I grabbed that. Do I want to work in North America and start taking some of that fur? Well, why not? Why not indeed? All right. So I will take my event there. If you don't use these up, you might lose them. Where does this come from? This is my wheat marker. So yeah, I'm going to unflag this for 1. I am going to spend 2 more to flag it. And now the fur, I'm still behind the 8 ball there. Why am I fighting so hard for it? Yeah, because I had this marker. You know what I mean? It's like I can't agree with not using it. I do not have treaty points. I do not have the bonus in the debt game. I'm not happy. I'm going to use my military to remove this. And that should put us about equal on fur, right? 4-3. I'm in the lead, actually. Wow, how'd that happen? I thought I was behind. I thought I was still behind. That moves us over here. And I haven't revealed anything. Someone pointed out an optimization. You know, maybe I could have played something a little better. Shit, man. I can almost guarantee you I'm making mistakes in terms of not successfully optimizing. The manifold that I'm trying to optimize over is just too big for me to be able to consider everything. So, you know, this is not a game that I'd be a good player at. Would I have fun with it? I'm having more fun than I should with it, which confuses me. I'm rating this game like a 6, but I'm torn between 6 and 7 because I'm enjoying it more than I should. I'm not sure why, you know. But I enjoyed games like Endeavor. I could have enjoyed a very similar game, but multiplayer, Struggle of Empires. This actually feels like a refinement and tightening of that kind of game, with one big exception, and something I probably mentioned in Struggle of Empires. This is a 2-player conflict. And Struggle of Empires, I think, goes into a deeper into the past. But as a 2-player conflict, with a historical setup, it just blows away whatever Struggle of Empires is trying to do, where you're like randomly placing Prussians in North America and shit like that I just can't accept, right? This has a premise that's believable, so that's a big deal for me. That is just a pure Euro. This one at least has some historical, it's historically believable. So, to the French. Well, events are starting to go. Do I care? I have the debt bonus. I want to keep using this while I do. I have at least 3 more available debt than my opponent. Do I? Maybe. I have 9 available debt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Yes. That is a hard card to actually access. So I need an economic event. They look the same to me. No. One of them has diplomacy. One of them has military. 3 military would give me a bonus. I want the diplomacy one because I want to start gaining those alliances. Now I've exposed this, so England should know there's a danger with the Jacobite Uprising in place. Okay. So I fire this thing off. For each debt my opponent has in excess of mine, I score a victory point. Well, they have a lot. I was 9, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 5. So, yeah, that is the 4 victory points. This is why you don't want to let your debt get way out of the other person's hand. Okay. And because I have enough of it, I can unflag an opposing political space in Europe. 3 is the most they're going to be. Boom. Remember, this is where I get bonuses for, right? To score 1 victory point for each French flag space. I'm assuming they mean in Scotland and or Ireland. That's not specified here. I'm not going to go look it up. I'm assuming that's what it means. Okay, so now I want, and I got to remember that there's two here. There really should be little places where you can put these things, because as it stands, it looks like one big set of rules with an exhausted marker. So I've played this. Yeah, I'm getting kind of slow. I get to do a military upgrade. We look at what we got. That's a debt. That's the one I'm going to go for. Yeah, I'm going to remove that one from the game. I'm removing enough of these from the game that maybe I have to look and see that it's not 4 in total. I don't know where that is. It's a special little rule, military upgrades. Yeah, you have to have 4 left. Good luck getting it that trimmed. Okay, so that took care of the event in that. I get 2 diplomacy and 2 economic. I don't know what I'm going to do with the economic, but the diplomacy, I'll take Scotland. Okay. I don't particularly want the prestige space. Do I want to spend more and build up more of this stuff? Because I could get 2 more victory points if I spend. How many diplomatic? There's a lot of diplomacy left on the board. I don't think I want to spend my treaty points yet on this or my debt. So 2 economic. What is importantest? Hey, I didn't use any of these. Got to do one of these. Prussian, German. Oh shit! This is diplomacy. Okay, well we got to spend 1 for this. We're going to unflag this, and that costs me 1 diplomacy. I'm going to use a treaty point. Hey, it's the first time I exhausted an advantage in Europe. I get a treaty point. That's each round, not each turn. Nice, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I hope that's not in the errata. Who knows? They've got some that are like that, but, you know, whatever. Okay. I don't have enough stuff in Europe. I got this one. I get to do this one. Okay. So now I have 2 economic. What am I going to do with that economic? What do I want to fight for? Well, the most valuable of all is probably the spice, which continues to be valuable. The cotton is nice too. I already have the lead in cotton. I do not have the lead in spice. I am going to go over here, I think. Gotta do something about that 4-4. So I'm just gonna spend 2 and get myself in here. I got a lot of debt and treaty points to play with, but holding them in reserve is a powerful, powerful option, because it means as I get to the end, I can make it so that Britain's last turn doesn't give them much in terms of being able to respond, especially if there's a shitty tile left. English are a little concerned, aren't they? No. Yeah, we're guaranteed. We can take a non-treaty, a non-event card without it being a big deal. Even though the French took 2 events, there are enough events we'll get to play all our events, so we don't have to do that. What that means, though, is we have to consider what our events are. And honestly, I think the Caribbean, is my least interesting. So I am going to reveal my scholarship, which just says, hey, Europe is not worth as much to the French, and it's worth more to the English. That means the French will probably be playing for a tie there, more than trying to win it, because it's only worth 1 point for a 2-point edge. But for the English, it's worth 3 points. So, okay. So I remove an a French flag from the Caribbean, and then I remove an English flag, and then I can remove an additional French flag. There goes a French flag. There goes an English flag. Whoa, this was like isolated anyway. Oh no, it's over there. And let's take an additional French flag. I don't know what to take. I mean, these 2 are about equal. That's that card. This doesn't do anything for me. Hey, I had to pick a tile. I don't know that it affects anything. So I want to take an event tile. Yeah, because I played an event. Do I want diplomacy, or I do want diplomacy. Non-prestige political spaces. I'm going to expose this, I think. Deploy squadron. It doesn't fucking tell me. I don't remember the deploy squadron cost. I think it's only 1, period. Yeah, it's 1 if I'm deploying to an empty space. So I don't know if I want to do that. All right. Once per turn, when taking a diplomatic action, I get an extra dip. So I have 3. I don't have debt. I'd like to take his victory point away. But maybe I don't play this. Maybe I don't show this. All right, I'm gonna take this away. That's 2. Not going to spend others. I don't have a lot of points to do anything with. I have 2 military. Do I have any problems? No, the problems are all French. So, what do I do? What do I do with 2 military? I go into India with my army. And again, not going to pay. Hey, what about an Indian market? Do I want to screw with an Indian market? This is raids and incursions. Any market I want. You know, I don't have a lot of tokens. I'll play it. Because now I have access to that market. And that puts my Brits. This is running out of these, so I'm going to want to play my event. What do I want to do? I probably want to keep soaking up these. Do I need... Yeah, they both come with it. 2 diplomacy, yeah. Okay. So, what am I going to do? First I get to play this. I have the style bonus. I refresh up to 2 advantages in Europe. There goes a debt. And this one. Whee! 2 extra diplomacy in Spain or Austria. Okay, well, that's great. There's 2. Let's put my Scots back in play. 2 extra diplomacy in Spain or Austria. Well, I could grab this. Or this. Okay. Unflagging Austrians. This is the second war. That includes this. The other one is the Mediterranean Intrigue, which is a conflict marker somewhere I don't really care about. So, diplomacy, I got 2 extra. I'm going to spend a debt. Why? Why did I want? Because I have this reduced by 2 debt. I'm going to spend a debt to give me the ability to buy this. That shows this up. Now, got to keep going. Alliance in Europe. German-Prussian. That's to unflag. I can't really use that. Alliance in Europe. I'll play that. Create a problem in the Dutch Republic. That gets me a TRP. Okay. That was one event. The Carnatic Coast Market. Well, if he interferes there, I can screw with it. That's fine. But I can't really do anything valuable right now. So, what next? Well, I want to spend more dip. I have taken that. I have 2 here. Another debt will buy me that. Right? Now I've got 2 debt available. Do I want to hold off on that till next turn? I mean, because I may have trouble playing this. Spain and Austria unflag, I can use that next turn. Shit. See, I have 1 more chit left. This will be available. Yeah, I'm fine. I can reduce my debt by 2 because I'll have this available. Presumably, the English may take it away from me and then I don't get that extra treaty point. Great. Do I want to spend more of anything on dip? Because my next card may not be, I'm guaranteed a good dip card. Okay. So, I think I'm okay holding. I've got 2 economic. I'm going to pay that in India to go here and grab this. This is the textiles, which will allow me to unflag more cheaply. Long-term advantage may not matter right now. But I've gotten the spice card, the spice market, more heavily. I could go into here because I can trace from here if I want to spend more, but I can't because this is a minor action. It can only be in one space. This is gone. I think I'm done. The only question was, did I want to spend more on dip? And the answer is quite possibly. You know what? I do. I do. I don't have any military this turn, but I'm going to need military to have that work, which means one of these 2 tiles. Wow. It's going to be hard for me to get that military. Yeah, let me spend more dip on that major action. So I'm allowed up to 4 victory points. 3, 4, 5. I'm buying these too. So that gets me the 4 victory points if the English don't compete. And that's getting me, you know, some significant power there. And now these transfer down so they're available. And we're back on the English for the third. And the English are on the ropes here, I think. Over to the English side, and they keep looking at this damn card and saying, damn it. Yeah, I can get a conflict marker in Spain, and that's definitely a useful thing. Not in this period. But, you know, it would count towards the scoring in Europe, and that might be of interest to me. But do I flip this or not? The extra bonus is not useful. Which is remove a bonus war tile. They haven't placed one yet. Neither of us have. This is an odd situation, but we're using our war tiles, our military points for something different. And that's kind of problematic. So I kind of want to hold this till the last card to make the decision. But then there's this, which, you know, do I want to reveal this event at all? It gets me 1 extra dip point. Yeah, that's nice. And it could get me a savings on a navy that maybe I can't afford, although if I'm picking this event, I can. The French could steal this event and prevent me from playing my last event card. What do I lose then? Not much. So I'm going to hold off. So then the question becomes, am I interested in 4 dip and 2 economic, or 4 military and 2 dip? Well, I got a military problem there. If I use the military marker, now, you know, maybe I want to buy that navy. Yeah. On the other hand, yeah, I think I'm going to go for this one and grab the dip. What do I do with that? Well, I am behind in Europe by a lot. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ouch. Things don't look good. So, what's next? Where else could I use that dip? I could use that dip to set up some tiles over here. For example, the Carnatic power struggle thing is out of my range because of where it is. It's just the silk market that I can't get to. Where else could I get points that work? Well, this would be one. Again, it's only one place though. Up here, there's the Iroquois, who connect to the ability to smack, I think, a fur market around. Yeah, which is helpful. And I could take the Algonquin away, or I could just grab the Algonquin, who have the Algonquin raids, which, I don't know, maybe those were used. So grabbing them doesn't do me much good, but at least I could move things twice. I don't think I can win in Europe, but on the other hand, can I afford to just keep giving Europe away? I don't know. What about prestige spaces? They're sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got maybe 1. Ow. Okay. So I am going to unflag this and flag this. That gets me the fur market, and I got to get that Algonquin raids thing. And that goes with its marker up here, indicating that, hey, it's not really available right now. And now I've got 2 more economic. All right. How am I doing in fur? I'm going to be able to kill one, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm winning in fur. And I get to go last. That may be an advantage. What about the spice and cotton? The French have an advantage of 2 in the spice and none in the cotton. I only have 2 economic value. And I don't really want to spend more debt, so I'm going to grab that and call it a day for those. That puts us back over to France. What's France got left? Well, do I have an advantage in Europe that I can play? Yes, I can unflag dip there. And okay, so what I kind of want is a dip in Spain, Austria, and a coin in India to unflag things in India. So let's look. Well, this is possible. What did I want with the dip? Why do I want the dip? Why do I want the dip? I need it to spend that. This is possible, but the problem with this is that coin in India, it's going to be a -1 to unflag. Well, the Brits only have a 2-point space, so that doesn't necessarily help. But I think this is my best move. I'm not going to steal that shitty event. I don't think the English have one. I haven't seen a reason to believe that. So now I have 4 military and 2 dip. Wait, that's not what I want. I have 4 dip and 2 coin. Okay. So in order to fire, oh, these are 2 different things. German-Prussian states. The French aren't, or the English aren't in either, so that doesn't help me. Spain, Austria, though, they are in. So I'll fire that off. It's 1 total to unflag. I don't get too big a deal there, but I fired this off. That gets me a treaty point. This is a great card. Okay. What else? Well, now I have 3 dip left. And what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I'm pretty happy in Europe. Unfortunately, that's where I chose to spend my point of dip. So, oh, I could do this. No. I mean, I could. I could reduce the cost of something like that. So 3 more dip in Europe. Russia, Sweden, Bavaria. -1. Oh, I can't play there. I mean, there's a lot available. Sweden is interesting at 2. I don't know what else I'm interested in here. I've got all my Scottish and Irish, and I got all kind of points for those. I'd like to win the war, I guess. What's in the Jacobite? Ireland, Scotland, conflict markers. There aren't any. Central Europe is just not worth that much. Arg. Get more protection with this. Not that I really need it. I could spend a dip to shift somewhere else and take something away. The English have their little marker they just grabbed for the fur market. I could steal that away, you know. So I could spend one to shift over and take that fur market away. Is the fur market where I want to fight, though? So cotton right now, I'm at a disadvantage. Shit, I have no military points. I'm not going to be able to fix cotton. Cotton's one of the best, but fur is almost as good. Yeah. The English are going to be able to do what they want, though. Well, maybe not, because they'd have to take the shittier piece. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I should have taken the military one. I got a lot of military defects to deal with. What did that military do? That gave me a dip. What did I do with my dip? I triggered something off and got a treaty point. What if I do this? What if I take this? I spent my dip to get that treaty point to do the thing. Great. No problem. Now I've got 4 military. This is 2. Fix my fort. 3. 4. Anything else I want to do military? I got a boat. Let's send that somewhere. Is there a place where I'm worried about my military capability? Yeah, I'm still not buying a bonus war chit. What about that? What? Jacobite Rebellion has no boats in it. The next most valuable is probably the Indian War. I can't send my boat to India without paying too much. Wow, I'm kind of screwed in India. Am I not? Jeez. And I'm cut off from here. Wow, I got myself hurt. Okay. So, what did I spend? I spent 3 of my military. I got 1 more to send a boat out somewhere. Oh. I mean, this would protect the hell out of those. That would make them hard to unflag. But, better to be on the offense than the defense. Let's go up here. I wonder if that's supposed to be once per turn and be exhausted. That seems like such a huge advantage otherwise, but it would be very, very weak if it was once per turn. Okay, and now we go over to the English for their last card. And we've got something now, don't we? No, they still didn't take a bonus war. A conflict marker in Spain. Spain isn't militarily important. It would change the victory points by 1. And I don't know, I think it affects the Central Europe. And maybe the Jacobite Rebellion. They both, oh no, Jacobites do not. I don't know whether or not it affects the Jacobite Rebellion. So the total strength for a war, they have to be present on the bonus strength list. Well, that's true. Each conflict marker in a flagged space. See this? So here's the problem. They don't really define the theater, etc. I think if I put this here, it will affect the Jacobite Rebellion. Even though that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I've got no other real way to refine it other than say it's only conflict markers in Ireland or Scotland. But it doesn't really spell that out. It's the theater. Adds 1 for each flagged element. Is theater defined? Theater bonus strength, theater special rewards, theater strength. It's all, none of it is defining what the limits of the theater are. That's the problem here. I think it's got to be a conflict marker in one of the locations listed on the card, as opposed to just anywhere in Europe. So I think Spain is not part of any theater right now. So a conflict marker there is not going to affect anything. So I think I'm not really that interested in this. Because I'm not going to win the European bonus. I'm not going to win the Prestige Award. I'm kind of letting the French be huge in Europe. Of course, that means this, which is European anyway. Let's look at the Prestige bonus. Can I steal that? So right now the Prestige bonus is 1, 2, 3, 4 for France and none for me. I can't really. Do I have a token? How did I keep that fur marker token? The French didn't take it from me. Interesting. Okay, well. We definitely do that. We have coins. Doesn't matter much. We'll put that up here. Okay. So now, the 4 dip, I can't do a lot of harm here. I really don't want the Jacobites to win, though. Let's decrease his chance of winning the war there. Yes, there's a lot of prestige points. And now I've got 4 points of economic. Well, how am I doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I've got the fur market controlled. The silk market. The French are in the lead in the silk market. And there ain't nothing I can do about that. The cotton market. We are tied in the cotton market, but if I throw a debt in, I can take them. Can't take anything out. Shit. Okay. We can do this differently. I can spend 2 to flag. I can choose this, which gets me the silk token, which I can't use right away, but that's okay. And that puts me in a pretty good position. So I'm gaining some strength in India. Why did I not care about this? I don't know. That might have been interesting. Okay. And we played this one out. Which means we are now discard treaty points. Nobody's got too many. Resolve remaining powers. I don't think there are any kicking around. The Samuel Johnson power is in play. I got to remember that. So now it's time to score. Purely mechanical, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The English win. They get a victory point and a treaty point. Yeah. Okay. Down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we right? 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The English win. Gotta keep counting. Again, this is the part. When I'm doing this kind of tile selection and, picking actions and all this kind of complicated stuff, and then it all comes out to this calculation. The problem with it is it's right beyond the edge of what I like to calculate. Okay, maybe some people are fine with it, but I like to play. I end up playing something like this by feel, and we'll end up being off by like a point or something in an important situation because of that. Playing by feel makes more sense when something is so complicated that you really can't hold it all on the head, in your head. But this, like dominant species, I can count this every damn turn. I could take all kinds of time assessing what the board position is and analyzing it and figuring out the best move at any particular time. And a computer would be better than I am at it, right? Therefore, a computer player should be able to be better than I am with very limited AI in place. Given that, I don't feel like I'm really being a human player. I feel like the big thing that I'm missing is that ability to analyze the board space and figure out the better plays that there are. And, it's just a little bit too much mental mechanical stuff to account for the real strategy of the game, Okay, let's go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We call this one a tie? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like it. Why do I recount only one? I don't know. Because they look like the more complicated to count. Europe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for the French. Nothing for the English. Whee! All right. That means the French easily get their 2 victory points for that. And, we're way ahead already. And then, obviously, they have prestige points. The English do not, so they're going to get the points for that as well. Okay. Commodities. Furs. Well, the English win the fur market. That's 2 victory points and a treaty point. Spice. The French are going to get the spice. That's the big one. 2 victory points, -1 debt. The French are doing a much better job with their debt. And then the cotton is 2 victory points and a treaty point, and the English seized that. We're seeing the game tilting. There's no question. That puts us here. And again, this is just another point scoring opportunity. Let's make sure we haven't missed something. Nobody won the game. Different people won points. So war resolution, we start looking. Central Europe. Central Europe, France and England tied. Austria, okay, so these are the only things in play. Austria, we gotta look them up. That's 1 for the French. Bavaria, 2 for the French. Denmark, Norway, 3 for the French. Dutch Republic, no. German states, 4 for the French. Prussia, 5 for the French. Sweden, not in play. So that's 1 victory point and a conquest point and a treaty point for the English. So there's the victory point and the treaty point. The conquest point is more interesting. So we're allowed to take from the theater if there's anything there that can be taken, which in Europe, no. Otherwise, Hudson Bay can be grabbed, which then will help with King George's War. Well, no, it won't. St. Augustine. That was interesting because the Caribbean thing. The problem with that is that causes a shift in Spain because of the optional rule. However, that may be worth taking. Acadia. We already own Acadia. The Asiento, which makes building ships cheaper. Interesting. Minorca, which is worthless and causes problems. And Gibraltar, which for a military, you can push the enemy off the ocean, off a navy box, and then they have to pay 1 to go back somewhere else. So to me, the interesting things are the Hudson Bay and St. Augustine. They both have a value. The fur market, I mean, it's starting to decrease. What about this other one, which is the Caribbean unflagged? This is fruit. Let's see what fruit says. It's a little cheaper to unflag. This is a 1 total. This is a 1 less, which means it's going to cost, it always will cost 1. You can't get a 0 for a conflict space or something. Sugar is starting to become very valuable. Is it worth this exchange? And this gives me an extra fur availability, whereas St. Augustine gets me into a sugar availability. I think it's worth taking that conquest point. England cannot refuse me this. I'm not taking something from them. I get yet another tile. However, I have pissed off the Spaniards. Now, this is a Spanish war box next turn. Or do I want a prestige box? I'm going to go into the war box just because. Okay, resolved. Next one, King George's War. In North America, conflict marker, forts and squadrons. Okay. France has a fort. Oh, let's turn these over. Okay, they're both a +1, so it's even. France has a fort. France has a conflict marker. That exchange. France has a squadron. So France has won by 1, I think. Unless I'm missing something. It's sometimes kind of hard to see everything. Okay. That means I get a conquest point. Those conquest points are in Hudson Bay, San Augustine, and Arcadia. Well, I just took San Augustine. I'm kind of left with only 1. Would I have wanted Gibraltar or something for the other one? Yeah. And now I get this. Yay. Collecting up a bunch of these. More than I can use. I mean, I've got 8, so I could do it. But all right, to the next one. The Carnatic War. All right. The English are a +1, but they take a debt. Terrible. Conflict markers, forts, and squadrons. Whoa. Huh. So I didn't notice this. The War of Austrian Succession gives you a special. If you bought bonus war tiles, you get free ones in the 7-year war. Oops. Okay. And that would be for the entire Austrian succession. Nobody spent any, so we didn't get any. But there's a reason that nobody spent any, and it may have to do with why, in part, that this is kind of there. The real reason it's there is these 2 wars happened within a few years of each other, which is why they're tightly together. Okay, so what do we get next? The Carnatic, the English are up 1, and we're looking at conflict, forts, and squadrons. English up 2, English up 3. And that is all she wrote. So up 3 in Carnatic is 2 conquest points and a treaty point for the French. 2 conquest points. Where can I take them? Anywhere on India. Well, can't take this. But I can take this. The French could deny me this. It would cost them 3 victory points. I don't think they're going to do that. That's a lot of points. The English have 1 more conquest point I could take. Can I take treaties? I don't know the answer to that. Forts, markets, naval spaces, and territories. You can't take diplomacy. Okay. I can take this fort. That's a lot of fort power. Like, that's a big place. and that exerts strength over here on Pondicherry. I'm going to do that. Consolidating a hold in India, and India is becoming more valuable, I believe. The spice is getting more valuable, and the cotton is getting a little more valuable. Okay. We don't know how much India itself is of value. It's the markets that change in value. So that's the end of that. Now to the Jacobite rebellion. Okay, this time the French are in the lead, but they're hit with a debt. Bonus points, style. Not me, man. I have style. So the French are up 2. Ireland. The French do not have any points in Ireland. Scotland, they've had their points taken out of Scotland. And then conflict markers against only those, I guess, because the theater, not the whole map area. So we're talking about a 2-point French victory, which is 3 victory points. Ow. Unflagging a political space in Europe, and I give 2 treaty points to the English. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, I can unflag any political space in Europe. Well, we'll take this one because this one's already in trouble. And that conflict doesn't go away. It says remove all conflict markers from the map. It doesn't mean that. It means remove them from the theaters where there is war. You have to actually deal with ones that aren't. In addition, we got the Jacobite victory, which would mean that I would get this if I didn't already have it. And that goes here. Yep. Okay. That pushes us forward, except I have some cleanup. We did not win. Neither side won everything in every war, did they? No, because the English won in India. And no, some of these wars were not maximal victory. Reset. All conflict markers are removed from the map, but not really. So we look for conflict markers and see if they applied. This one applied, so it's gone. But ones that weren't involved in the battles did not. And that's in the errata. Reset. There are no bonus war tiles. Yeah. Oh, what happened with this? I guess there was a war tile briefly. Okay. And then we'll be going to the next war phase as well.